2, 1, action. We're live, right? Hey folks, how you doing? Happy Wednesday night. What is it? January 27th. What a great day to be here talking about elk hunting. Elk Talk Live, brought to you by our great friends. Lots of great friends. This is episode number 104. Man, I can't believe that people would listen to me with episode 104, or 103 episodes already behind us. Let's see. All of you are chiming in earlier and earlier and earlier, and I'm getting all of these notes like, hey, Randy, one guy wants to know that, or wanted to ask if I had a dressing room in the back like the WWE wrestlers and they prep me before I come out here. No, we don't have that, but maybe that's what we should do. You know, we gave wrestling names to most of our crew. Marcus is Marcus Scrap Iron Hockett, and Michael was Michael the Hammer Parente. I can't remember what we came up with for Dan. And yeah, but we're, I wonder who this Maddox Valdez person is, but they're gonna get removed. So that's what we do, folks. When we get a lot of spammers that show up here. We get some anti-hunters who show up here, and over here behind the screen we got Jonathan and we got Paul, and they're over there with like the beeper button, the nuclear button. Kaboom! Kaboom! So if you're here, show up to have a good time. Show up to smile, maybe laugh at me a little bit when I tell you about death by dysentery from eating 5-alarm chili. And hopefully along the way, you learn you don't ever have to pay full retail for anything, because we got a promo code with anybody who counts. And we'll maybe discuss and answer a few questions that are helpful to you. So I appreciate everybody being here. We're going to talk Arizona elk tonight, and here's why. The first step in getting a tag and going hunting somewhere is the drawing. So don't miss the deadlines. The deadline for Arizona is February 9th. I think midnight Arizona time. So don't miss the deadline. I'm trying to think of when I first started applying in Arizona. I think as a non-resident, I started in 1997. And I've drawn, I think, 5 Arizona tags myself, elk tags. I've helped with plenty of others. Arizona is just a great state. And everybody thinks of Arizona as this, oh, you're never going to draw. It's going to take forever. Well, if you apply for just those premium top units, okay, early rifle tags or early muzzleloader tags in Unit 1, Unit 9, Unit 10, Unit 23, yeah, it's going to take a long, long, long time. So, me, I know I'm never going to get that many points. I apply for the easier to draw tags. I apply for these tags that are late rifle hunts. They usually start the Friday after Thanksgiving. They give away a lot of elk tags for those hunts. So it's a little more crowded. The bulls are in sanctuary mode, so it's hard to really, I guess, count on them being exactly where you want them to be or being active and bugling like in the September seasons. I'd say the reason a lot of people end up with such a pile of points in Arizona, non-residents, is because they apply for the archery tags or the premium rifle tags. And those take forever. And then you got people like me and some of you who say, no, I just want to go every 4 to 6 or 7 years. And you're building your points, throwing your name in the hat, and sooner or later, your number comes up. And in the meantime, I'm also applying for antelope, which is the same deadline as elk. And then in June, I apply for deer. Amazing deer hunting in Arizona. You wouldn't think about it. Everyone thinks it's desert, but it's not all. Not all desert, but there's even some great deer in the desert. Desert sheep, apply for that in June. And then later I apply for javelina and all the other spring hunts. And if you're like me, maybe not everybody enjoys going down there in the wintertime like I do, but I went to college there for 2 years, so I got a lot of friends there. And I go down quail hunting, rabbit hunting, javelina hunting, and we do archery Coues deer. So the reason I say all that, there's a ton of things that you can do with your Arizona license, even if you just are building points. Because you have to buy that non-refundable, non-resident hunting license to apply and build points. So that's an upfront cost. That's the downside of Arizona. The flip side of it is, of all the states that require you to buy an upfront license just to apply, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, you get more hunting pleasure in all these other things, more value out of that license in Arizona than any other state. So, and if you have a youth hunter in your family, don't miss Arizona, because the non-resident youth license, $5. So some people say, how did your son, my son Matthew, how did he get so many points in Arizona? Well, back when he was 10 years old, I started applying him in Arizona, and it cost me $5 for the license and $5 per point. So now he's 30 years old, he's got 20 points for a lot of species in Arizona. And it didn't cost a whole lot for some of those. So if you have a youth hunter, think about Arizona. That's the, I think anyhow, that is probably one of the most overlooked things that's out there. And now I'm going to walk through just quickly about how the Arizona draw works, and then we're going to jump into a lot of these questions. And someone's saying, well, don't forget to talk about your story of getting thrown in a Mexican jail. That was when I was living in Arizona, and we don't need to go there. So, but here's how Arizona's draw works. They take the pool of tags for each hunt code, and they split it into two pieces, two parts of a draw. The first phase of the draw, 20% of the tags for that hunt code go over here in a separate draw, and all of us are in that draw, but they issue those tags and allocate them based on who has the highest number of points. So in effect, for those 20% of tags, they've converted their bonus point system to a preference point system. And anyone who doesn't draw in that first phase of the draw, you then go into the second phase for the other 80% of the tags. And those are on a true bonus point system. And a bonus point system, like we've talked many times, is like a raffle. If you have 10 raffle tickets because you have 10 points, 10 random numbers assigned to you, and I only have 2, you got 5 times as better odds of drawing than I do. But if you've ever been to a raffle, right, there's times where someone who only bought 1 ticket ends up winning. Well, someone with 1 point or 0 points can end up drawing in a bonus point system. So you got 2 phases, first phase, second phase. The other unique part about Arizona is they look at both your first and your second choice application before they go on to the next person. So you can leverage that from a strategy standpoint. Make your first application something that is just swinging for the fences, because you never know when you're going to get the lowest random number over here in the bonus point pool. And if you get that super low random number, that's the year that you could go on one of these premium hunts that seems to take forever. And then your second choice, make it be something more reasonable for what point level you have. So they're going to look at your first choice and then your second choice. If none of those tags are available when they get you make a point for the next year. And they're going to go on to the next person. Now, Arizona has a 3rd, 4th, and 5th option, but don't do it. As a non-resident, don't do it, because those are usually cow tags, and it still burns your points. So if you're building points hoping you're going to get up here and someday get a bull elk tag, when you draw one of those cow tags, antlerless tags, as your 3rd, 4th, or 5th choice, your points go away. Poof. So don't even apply for a 3rd, 4th, or 5th choice in Arizona. So The other thing is Arizona caps us non-residents at 10% of the tags for any hunt code. And in that first part of the draw where they go by the people with all of the big point piles, those people in total, those non-residents, can't get any more than half of that 10% quota. So that leaves at least half, the other half of that 10% quota over here on the other side. So when they're going through the draw, we're competing with residents. We may not, as non-residents, we might not get our full 10% by a certain hunt code. We might only get 8% because we're competing with residents. And in that instance, we might, all the tags might be allocated, and non-residents only got 8%. But never will we get more than 10%. So if there's a hunt code that a lot of non-residents apply for, as quick as they hit the 10% point or 10% tag threshold for that hunt code, all the non-residents are out of the draw for that hunt code. Poof, done. So that's really the nutshell of how Arizona's elk system works. Now, Arizona has unbelievable elk hunting. I mean, everybody knows that. There is not anyone I know who is wondering how's the quality of elk hunting in Arizona. Everyone knows it's great, and that's why there's such high demand for it. Quality, value, supply and demand, it all enters the equation. But if you plan it right and you aren't set on having one of the absolute glory tags, it's reasonable to expect that you can hunt elk in Arizona every 4 to 7 years, which is pretty darn good for the quality of the hunt and the amount of public land they have. Arizona has tons and tons of public land, especially where the elk are. You get very few units are you going to run into anything that looks like a no trespassing sign for any significant amount of the hunting area that you want to hunt. So let's see. Eric says, hi Randy, I'm definitely going to be upgrading to a Mystery Ranch backpack this year and we'll be using your promo code. Yeah. Don't pay full retail, right? If you want to save 10% on that Mystery Ranch backpack, like Eric says, go to gohunt.com. They have a gear shop. And when you check out, no matter what you buy and you use promo code Randy, they're going to give you 10%. Well, I shouldn't say no matter what you buy. There's a few sale items and a few things that are exempt. But your Mystery Ranch pack, I know they're going to give you 10% off when you use promo code Randy. So, yeah, go there. Buy that Mystery Ranch pack. It'll carry more than you want to carry. It can carry more than I ever am interested in carrying out of the mountains. Yeah. So, let's see. I just want to hunt cow elk. Is it hard to draw in Arizona if I want to hunt with a muzzleloader? Look at the regulations. I can't remember if what the muzzleloader regulations are. I have the Arizona regulations right in front of me here. Muzzleloader elk. Oh yeah, they give away a lot of muzzleloader elk tags there, or muzzleloader antlerless elk tags. So depending on if you're a resident or non-resident, how many points you have, you might draw. But I can tell you this, if you don't apply, you're not going to draw. So let's see. Do you want to chime in on the legislation proposed in California for the cancellation of bear hunting? I don't really want to chime in, but I will. It's stupid. You know, we need to get the legislators out of game management. I always joke that the quickest way to get your PhD in wildlife management is get elected to your state legislature. All of a sudden, they're all geniuses. They're scientists and biologists. When in reality, the people who want to tinker with all these state laws related to hunting, fishing, license allocations, most of them don't know their butt from third base. But, so that's my opinion about the California deal. Let's see. Do I have any plans to hunt Colorado elk during the muzzleloader season, which is in the middle of September? You always talk about how archery hunters hate the dates. No, I really don't do a lot of muzzleloader hunting, so the answer is no, I don't plan on it. Probably won't. And Colorado's that unique state where there's a time for about 9 or 10 days in September where you have the muzzleloader hunters and the archery hunters in the elk woods at the same time. Interesting. Only state that I know that does it. Let's see. Does point creep only apply to non-resident hunters? I think people are referring to a video we did, I think it released yesterday, about point creep. In other words, there's these people who have been in these point systems for 10, 15, 20, 25 years, and now they're deciding to jump in and finally burn their points. And it's causing each hunt code to require a higher level of points each year. And we talk about what causes it, how long it's been going on, what states do you see it in, and then some things you can do to combat it. At the end of the video, I think we spend the last fourth of the video talking about here's some ways to work around it, or at least compensate for it. So it says, does it only apply to non-residents? No, it doesn't. It applies to any state that has a preference point system or a hybrid system like the Arizona system I just explained, where part of their draw is a hybrid or is a preference point system. In any state where people are allowed to just buy a point, because what happens, so Go Hunt has the best odds that you can find. The last year and for the prior 5 years, Go Hunt will give you the draw odds for all these western states by any hunt code. They're the most accurate draw odds out there. But the prior year draw odds are only part of the equation. And Brady at Go Hunt did a video and also did an article, just like we did this week, talking about this big pool of people over here on the side who I call them point buyers. They aren't even in last year's draw odds because they just buy a point, buy a point, buy a point. So if you aren't paying attention to this big pool of people over here who are buying points, you're setting yourself up maybe for some disappointment, because just when you think, oh man, I've built up enough points, this is my year, some applicant over here who's just been buying points forever jumps in front of you, or a bunch of them do, and they get the tags because they had more points than you. So it does not apply only to non-residents. In a state where the residents are subject to a preference point system or a hybrid system, it can happen to them also. Let's see. Do I know when non-residents will be allowed to apply for their deer elk tags in Montana? I'm not sure. They usually open it up sometime in March. People wish I'd do more shop talk videos. Well, the guy right over here, Jonathan, is the dude in charge. He's got one on the list. When are we going? Have we put that on the calendar when we're going to do it, Jonathan? Next week, I think. Next week? I'm not. I'm going to be out of town most of next week. I'm going to be traveling and moving along, so maybe the week after. All right. So Jonathan was looking at some of the old photographs of me hunting with my son when he's a tyke, and he commented that, boy, you sure weren't using the high quality gear at that point. Nope, I wasn't. I couldn't afford it, but I went hunting anyhow. So in the shop story, you're going to hear me talk about how foolish and crazy I was. And the example is, the first 3 years I lived in Montana, my hunting shoes, hunting boots, even when there was snow on the ground, was a pair of leather Converse All-Stars. The kind Magic Johnson and Larry Bird used to wear. You look at all my old hunting photos from back then, and that's what I'm wearing. I got the same pair of jeans with the same knee tore out of them. I mean, my backpack was a blue Jansport book bag from my college days with a leather bottom. That's what I planned on hauling an elk out in. My rifle? Oh, you don't even want to see. I didn't have a pair of binoculars, and then I thought I was really saving some money. I went and bought an El Cheapo pair with two little, it was like looking through a pair of drinking straws or something. So that shop story is going to be all about equipment and why you should go hunting no matter what the equipment is. And maybe someday your budget will let you add a little more and a little more and a little more. But never let equipment and the cost of equipment get in the way of going hunting. Just don't go there. So, but let's quickly talk about who helps make this possible and make sure that you don't pay full retail. These good folks at Gerber. If you want these elk hunting knives right here, go to gerbergear.com, use promo code Randy, and they'll give you 20% off. Right here, Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. Go there, Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls, use promo code Randy. They'll give you 15% off. And let's see, where else? We got so many promo codes. We should just put a big, do we have some website we can say promo code Randy? I think I actually own the domain name promocoderandy.com, but I've never built a website. Because I don't want any, I'm a tightwad accountant, man. I don't pay full retail. I'll go without it before I'll pay full retail. So Kenetrek, promo code Randy gets you $75 pair of gaiters, a $75 pair of gaiters with your purchase. We already talked about Mystery Ranch. You can save 10% at Go Hunt. Let's see. Elkhorn Coffee Roasters. Use promo code Randy on orders over $30. You get 15% off. Oh, University of Elk Hunting, my buddy Corey. We're getting ready to start doing a bunch of content along with him. He's like, hey, why don't you come do some more content with me? I did, I don't know, 6 or 8 modules with him 3 or 4 years ago. So I'm going to be doing more of those with Corey. If you want to learn more about elk hunting, it's the best course out there. When you go to the University of Elk Hunting, which is out there at Corey's elk101.com page, other website, and you use promo code Randy, he'll give you $20 off your subscription to the course. And let's not forget, oh, here's another one I forgot. Loophole said, hey Randy, if we sent you a really cool rifle scope, what would you do with it to give to your guests? And who talked them into that was the Go Hunt folks. So Go Hunt said, anybody who's ever signed up for the Insider using promo code Randy, on January 31st, if your subscription is active and you signed up using promo code Randy, you're in the drawing for this really cool Loophole rifle scope. So there you go. And if you do sign up for the Insider, use promo code Randy and they'll give you $50 in their gear shop. All right, got that out of the way. Randy, which gas station can I use promo code Randy at? We should work on that. I've been hounding Dairy Queen. They're like, oh, we can't do that. We're sorry. How about an EBS giveaway? I got one right here. I don't know how we'll give one away. You guys think about that for the next time, how we're going to give. Let's give away 2 Gerber knives next time. So when someone comes up with a good idea, like someone just did here, I don't have the answer. That's what I have peeps for. They're the smart people. I just show up and string out a big long line of hot air and try to act like I know what I'm doing, and I don't. Loophole, someone just asked this. They are replacing the VX3i, and everybody's, oh no, panic, the best value at that class. No one touches the VX3i rifle scope. I mean, Loophole has it. Well, don't fret. They're coming out with the VX3 HD, which they're taking a lot of the stuff that's in the VX5 HD, and some of that's going into the VX3 HD. And it's going to be same price range, just super, super good upgrades that you're all going to be excited about. So, let's see. Damon says, I signed up 4 years ago on the Go Hunt Insider and I got the $50 of Mad Money. Am I in the drawing? Only if your current subscription used promo code Randy. So, sorry about that. So, let's see. Would you ever hunt public land in your home state of Minnesota? Yep, I would. Just do it all the time. Someday I want to go out there and go back there and do a hunt like that. But I always seem to get too busy in November. Minnesota needs to move their deer season sometime other than November. So, what? No promo code at DQ? Let's see. Do you have 20% off a truck promo? promo code. I wish we could get Ford to do that. That would be cool, huh? Call the folks at Ford Marketing in Detroit and see if you can work that out. We'll be right there with you. Where's Michael at tonight? He's out celebrating. He's got a big holiday going. I don't know what he's got going on, but he's not here. He's probably out peddling more of my wares. But you guys were so funny last week with all this Michael stuff. After we got off the phone, we laughed so hard. It was crazy with some of the comments you had. Matt Hoffman says promo code Randy2021 doesn't work at Alpaca Raft. Do I have the wrong code? They told me that's the new code. Try Randy2020 and see if they honor that. Well, that's unfortunate. Do you have better odds in Arizona with a bow? I don't know if you mean better odds of filling a tag or better odds of drawing a tag. Your odds of the archery tags in Arizona are almost as high a demand as the early rifle tag. So your draw odds are less for the archery hunts, and your success rates, as a general rule, are lower than the rifle hunts, but they're usually much higher than surrounding states or states like my home state of Montana, where we hunt them hard. Our archery harvest rates aren't anything compared to what Arizona's are. Let's see. Matt asks, I have 5 points in Arizona and I want a glory hunt for archery elk someday. In between now and then, I have enough points, I will hunt other states. So you are saying I should still try and draw a tag anyway, knowing I don't have enough points. Yes, good point, Matt. So over here in this 80% draw, a lot of people say, I'm just going to buy a point because I don't have lots of points. Well, it's the same price to buy a point or to apply. And what if you get the low random number assigned to your bonus points that year? That could be the year when you kind of beat the odds. So never just, if it fits your calendar, don't just buy a point. Actually apply. Because when you apply, wasn't there some movie where someone says, so you're saying there's a chance? Yeah. I'm saying there's a chance if you at least apply. So don't just buy a point. Let's see. Is it better that New Mexico doesn't have a point system? That's personal opinion, and I'll give you my personal opinion. I hate point systems. So yeah, I think it's cool that New Mexico doesn't have a point system. Neither does Alaska and neither does Idaho. I wish all states would go back to that, but they never will. There's just, too many people are now vested into these systems. When you look at Colorado and you got non-residents with over 30 points, they've been in this game for over 30 years. Colorado's not going to pull the rug on them. And Wyoming only started their system 15 years ago. And last year, non-resident revenues from the point buying in Wyoming generated $12 million of revenue. So I doubt that they're going away. So since these states aren't going to get rid of those systems, know how they work and know how to make your applications fit your plans and your goals accordingly. So any good stories from when you were first learning how to hunt in Minnesota? Boy, those would be some shop stories. But we don't have any B-roll footage to go with it. These guys are like, so? No one wants to sit there and watch me be a talking head for 45 minutes. Gee, these guys get enough of me. Should I consider Arizona as a midterm goal? Yes, I would. I'm planning on Wyoming, Montana, and Colorado for my every other year elk hunts. So yes, Arizona can be a midterm goal. And I say midterm is 5 to 9 points or 5 to 9 years. You can draw some really good late rifle elk tags in Arizona if you've got between 5 and 9 points. So to me, yeah, that's great. Oh, Adam, I was hoping nobody was going to do this. But somebody had to bring it up, and I'm going to bring it up. So if you are a non-resident who thinks about hunting elk or elk deer combo in Montana, pay attention. Because our state legislature right now is trying to screw you over. They want to take 60% of the tags that you can apply for and say, these 60%, you have to use an outfitter. So now all you non-residents who've been building bonus points for our limited entry hunts and everything else, if this bill passes, you're going to get screwed over, because now there's only 40% of the tags left for you self-guided, public land, go do it yourself elk hunters. And that's a bunch of horse hockey as far as I'm concerned. And I'm a resident. People say, well, why do you care? It doesn't affect you. It affects me because I don't think states should be passing laws that say you got to go hunt and pay all this extra money because we're going to force you to go through that outfitter. And I have some friends in the outfitting business, and there's a lot of great outfitters out there. This is just ridiculous. So here in Montana, we have a hearing February 2nd, our Senate Fish and Game Committee. And I don't know, Jonathan, did you pull that stuff up? So out on my Hunt Talk forum, I have a big forum called hunttalk.com. There's a thread going right now that I started. If you go out there, I'm the big fin guy. So if you see some guy posting his big fin, don't give me too hard of a time, because my wife moderates that forum. She might toast you. No, she won't. She'd probably give you a couple extra points. But anyhow, that's the information on that link there. And some of you will say, well, I'm a non-resident. They don't care about me. If enough of these senators hear from you about, okay, I go here, this is what I spend on gas and motels and meals and licenses and dot, 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 dot. Enough of you email them, I hope it would make a difference. And here's the unfortunate part. We fought this battle in 2011. The citizens passed a ballot initiative to get rid of the outfitter guaranteed license back then. And now the legislature wants to overturn what the people voted for. So, you brought that up, Adam. Sorry if I went off the rails a little bit there, but I get pretty fired up when, back to my earlier point of how legislators think they know what the hell they're doing, they don't. By and large, most legislators who get put on these wildlife and game and fish committees, half of them don't even know what the rules are, what the drawing systems are, how the tag allocations work. They got put on that committee as some sort of political plum. And I'll get lit up because I'm making a stink about this, but I don't really care. Because you non-residents are the ones getting screwed over by this. It's just so dumb. So, it'll go to our Senate committee. If it passes out of our Senate committee, it'll go to, well, I believe, I should get this right. It'll go to the Senate, and then it'll go to the House. Our House, we have the House Fish and Game Committee. If they have any changes, they'll meet in conference to sort it out. And then it'll go to the governor. And if he signs it, it'll become law. So I have no idea why these legislators think this stuff is appropriate, but they do. And, you know, what do they say? The bad part about politicians is 99% of them give the other 1% a bad name. Well, that's what applies here. So, let's see. As a non-resident who's been looking at hunting, should we still contact those senators? Yes. Yes, there's a link out there on that forum where you can contact them. Randy, any Utah hunts planned? I don't know yet for sure. I have enough antelope points I could go, but I don't know if I'm going to. Did I get a 6.8 Western yet? No, I probably won't. I've got a 6.5 PRC on the way. That's probably going to be my chance to, soup up a 6.5 a little bit more than what the Creedmoor is. And so I'm going to play with it and see how it works. Oh, wow. Somebody is, I'm hunting bison in West Yellowstone. Any tips on how to get a better pattern on them? Boy, if they aren't migrating out, whew, that's tough. Man, Justin, I'm sorry that it's either, it can be great if they migrate out, because when a bison say we're going, you know, heaven and sun is not going to stop them. They're going where they're going, and you can get in front of them and pick the one you want. But unfortunately, if they're not out of the park, what it is they migrate out of Yellowstone National Park out into some Forest Service lands in Montana. And so you can hunt the Forest Service lands, but obviously not the national park. So, anyhow. Are the Arizona limited opportunity tags worth my time? Yeah, they are. You've seen us kill some elk on those limited opportunity hunts in Arizona. And here's the secret. Don't tell anyone who didn't tune in tonight. Any elk hunts that are limited opportunity hunts, us non-residents don't have a 10% cap on those hunts. But don't tell those other people. They didn't show up tonight, so they don't deserve that little tidbit. But, hey, oh, we got to talk about Bowtech. I think Bowtech has a contest going on right now, and I should know about it, and I'm sorry that I don't. But go out to bowtecharchery.com. They always have something going on there. And trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this one. It was last year's bow, the Revolt, and I never set it up because my Realm was shooting so good. I'm like, I don't want to mess with it. So, and now they sent me a brand new 2021 bow that's sitting in a box at home. I got to get that set up. I am going to shoot that one this year, though. Just got to try. So, let's see. What else we got for questions? Man, people are racking them up today. I can't believe how many people are chiming in here. Some people are saying, message Jon Tester. He's a Montana senator. No, don't. He's our U.S. senator. This is in the Montana state legislature. So message, you can type in Montana legislature, Senate Fish and Game Committee. Those are the people you want to contact. Not Steve Daines, not Jon Tester. Those are Montana's U.S. senators back in D.C. So they'll get all these emails. They'll be like, Newberg, what are you doing, man? But let me go back to some of these others. These guys are doing a great job. What they do is they take, oh, someone wants to know if there's a promo code that works for Leupold Optics. This person, Dale says, any coupon for Leupold VX5 HD? Yep. And when you hear this promo code, don't laugh. You got to go out to GoHunt.com in their gear shop. They're one of the big retailers of Leupold Optics. And when you check out with promo code DQ, 5% off. There aren't very big margins on optics, so it's not like you're going to find one that has, 20% off. So go out there and you can save 5% with promo code DQ. And you'll build up points in your account at GoHunt. So, do you know if RMEF is planning on an introduction of elk in the Northeast? I'm not sure what you would define as Northeast, but they've helped with the ones in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and I know we start getting down to Virginia, we're talking about South, but Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina. But right now, one of the problems we have with trying to translocate or transplant any of the cervids, elk or deer, moose, caribou, mostly what we move around the landscape are deer and elk, is chronic wasting disease. These states don't want elk being transplanted unless you can prove that they're CWD free. Well, there's no live animal test for CWD. So I would say that even though RMEF has recovery plans in a lot of states, being able to implement that is not very likely because of CWD. Okay, Alejandro says, is there a discount code for Yeti coolers? I don't know if it works out at GoHunt or not, but go to GoHunt.com. If you buy your Yeti cooler, put it in the cart and see if promo code Randy works. It works on just about everything else. I know it doesn't work on Sitka gear out there. It works on most anything that's not on sale. So it might work on Yeti. Promo code Randy at the GoHunt Gear Shop. Try it. I'd be interested to know if it works. Bowtech promo code? No, don't have a promo code for that, because Bowtech, you can only get Bowtech bows at a qualified pro shop. And I'm a big fan of pro shops. Some people will say, oh, I'd rather order it online. Not me. My friends out here, Bill and Gabe, out at the Big Sky Archery, or pretty much any pro shop I go to, Bull Base and Archery in Flagstaff, I've been in there before. Those pro shops are worth every dime. So when you're getting set up for a bow, go and do it at a pro shop. And that's why Bowtech only sells their bows through pro shops. Is Bart May going to draw Utah elk this year? I don't know. He sure has a lot of points, but he's greedy. He's a victim of point creep. He's always applying for the units that take way too many points. So, am I putting in for the New Mexico Gila Giants this year in New Mexico? No, this year I don't think I'm going to do the Gila. Well, I might. I always say that, and then I always put one of my choices there. Let's see. Any thoughts of Arizona getting rid of trail cameras? You know, I've never used a trail camera. Stealth Cam sent us some trail cameras, and we're putting together a bunch of footage of using trail cameras just for wildlife viewing, not for our hunting. Jonathan's in charge of that project along with Dale, but so I don't, it's hard for me to have an opinion on trail cameras when I didn't even own one until Stealth Cam sent me some a few months ago. So I'm sure people will chime in with some opinions on it. I'm sure of that. Did I ever hunt elk in Washington State? Nope, never have. Next time I need a walkthrough for all the draws in Montana. It is so confusing. If you go out to our YouTube channel, we have videos about every western state and how their draw system works. So Randy Newberg Hunter is the YouTube channel. If you go out there, you'll find them for Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, Alaska, Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana. 9 states that we have draw videos for. And the group that asks us to do those is we do them all based on the fact that GoHunt says, hey, go do these videos and let us know what it costs. We want more people to understand how these systems work. And so thanks to GoHunt, that's why these videos get brought to you free. So if you sign up for the Insider, use promo code Randy. Get a $50 gift card in their gear shop. Let's see. We got more. Please, more shop talk. Let's see. Yeah, my suppressor, I haven't got that paperwork taken care of. Last episode I said, yeah, I'm going to be getting a suppressor to hunt with. And my hunting license, I got to do it. I just got to do it. My hearing is, my wife says it's selective, but it's not selective. It's just from too much unprotected shooting. How am I feeling after COVID? You know what? I am feeling so much better than I was. I'm probably 90%, slightly higher. What is my choice of a sight for my bow? For years since they came out with it, I've been using the Black Gold Ascent. Every one of my bows, I'm trying to remember what I even used before that. And then I have a ripcord rest, tight spot quiver. For arrows, I use full metal jackets. So I don't claim to be an elk or an archery expert. I go to the pro shop out here, Bill and Gabe at Big Sky Archery, and they have such great answers to my questions, and they know that I'm not a long bomber. You know, I'm not shooting out there past 40 yards. So for me, it's about super quality gear that's going to give me great penetration. So some guys like to shoot way out there, and I just don't have the talent. So for me, that eliminates a whole bunch of other options. Would caps on preference points help with point creep? Say 15 points. Those who have 30, you have 5 years to burn them or lose them. I don't think it would help. In Montana, we started our moose, goat, and sheep system 19 years ago. And we've got so many people stacked up at that maximum point level. What good does it do to have maximum points if everybody else has maximum points, or just about everybody else? So I don't think it would do much. You'd create a ruckus. You'd have some very upset non-residents who have all those points. But I don't know, maybe someday a state will do that. And I don't know if I don't know what the response would be. I'm sure it wouldn't be very favorable. Let's see, what is this question? Randy, will you talk about when you should replace your rifle after you have shot it so many times or used it so many years, and when is it time to get a new rifle? Well, I'm kind of biased. I think it's time to get a new rifle anytime you feel the urge. You know, never get in the way of somebody who wants to buy another firearm. You know, if what you have is good, having one more is gooder. Okay? I don't really have a hard and fast rule to that. People say you can shoot out a barrel. Depends on how fast and how much powder and everything else, how much you shoot it. I shoot, you know, I'm fortunate that I have lots of different rifles. So I end up shooting a lot every summer, but each rifle, you know, maybe gets 100, 200 rounds through it. I've not encountered any that I feel was shot out where I needed to replace it. So that probably isn't the answer, but the answer I say is go get more rifles anytime you feel like it. A lot of questions about how did the wolf taste. We're going to know by this time tomorrow. We're all going to be like, oh, why'd we eat that wolf? We're eating some wolf, and then Paul has some mountain lion from a mountain lion he shot a little while back. So we have a birch barrel. Oh, that's another place promo code, the birch barrel. Use promo code Randy. I can't remember what it saves you, but we're putting it on the birch barrel, and we're going to eat it tomorrow. So if I'm not here to do Elk Talk Live next week, maybe, you know, either the COVID got back at me or I died of some canine disease. I got the distemper or the hydrophobia or something. So maybe I got the fleas or the mange or something. Oh, bust out Ryan says, bust out the TP. I hope not. You know, Mark Thompson just posted something that if you post, I don't care what side it is, left, right, political, whatever, if it's political, you're getting deleted. So, I'm sorry. These platforms are to have fun. You know, we're not here to argue politics on my platforms. So, sorry, Mark, but that's just the way it is. We're not going to put up with that. So, people get enough of that. If you want that, go to Facebook. And when you go to Facebook, blow it up. Was it last week we talked about blowing up your Facebook? And we were going to get a whole bunch of computers and shoot them or something? Burn them up? Yeah. Blow up your Facebook. John Prine sang a song, Blow Up Your TV. And I think it applies to Facebook. uh, I'm not going to say that. That's for you, Ryan. That's between you and your wife. Do you have dogs? Yeah, I had 3 of them. I put down our 18-year-old dog last Thursday. I could never personally have dogs as a pet and eat a wolf. I get that. That's fine. I can respect that. But I've had 3 dogs. Well, I've had a lot more than that, but at one time, not too many years ago, I had 3 at the same time. So, let's see, Randy, I was wondering if scouting during the spring for elk while they are headed for their summer range from their winter range would be a good use of time to see how and where they travel. No. A better use of your time would be to come and scout just before your hunt. You're not going to learn that much because they don't necessarily behave the same way that when they're moving up to their summer ranges. There's a different moisture pattern, there's a different green up pattern, how long they spend there versus how quickly they pass through and transition range in the fall. I don't think and I'm assuming you'd have to travel somewhere to do that scouting. I don't think you'd get a good use of your time and your money doing it. So. That's just my thought. So, hey Dave, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Dave, if you see Dave on here, he's put together our Q&A list. Been super, super helpful. Am I going to slow cook or smoke that wolf? I'm not going to smoke a wolf because you got to get it up above 165 degrees to get rid of all the hoo-boos. And I don't care to be howling at the moon and scratching the fleas because I inherited some sort of canker from the Canis lupus. So, but let's see, what's a good elk call for beginners? That's the beauty of Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. If you go out there, they have beginner, intermediate, expert. They have all kinds of them. By size, they have a sizing plate that is super important. And then they have which ones are going to be the most forgiving. So go to Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. It'll tell you, they'll have them listed there that meet what category you might be looking for. And in the process, use promo code Randy and they'll give you 15% off. How's that? Man. Remember, don't pay full retail. Let's see. What caliber do you use most for elk and mule deer? The answer is yes. I'd say for elk, I usually use my 308 or one of my many 308s. But sometimes I'll end up using my 300 Win Mag because sometimes I'm loaning out rifles to crew or to friends or whatever. And for mule deer, whenever possible, I'm using my 7M M08. So, but I've used 300 Win Mag on mule deer. I've used 308 on mule deer. So, Randy, do you shoot a 5.56? No, I don't. I don't have any of the European cartridges, or true European cartridges. Obviously, the caliber, we got lots of them. The U.S. domestic cartridges that we call them something else that has a European equivalent. So no, I don't have one of those. But Randy, out of all the Arizona hunts that you have had, what's the best unit hunt you've enjoyed the most? That's a pretty easy one. In 2005, I lucked out and I drew the early rifle tag in Unit 10. that was off the charts. Good, fun. So many bulls, bugling like crazy, and I got a rifle in my hand. And this is a little bit of a curse is when you're out scouting and you see Big Hank. I mean, truly Big Hank. The biggest bull elk I've ever seen alive on the hoof I saw 2 nights before season open. And so I passed some tremendous bulls that any other time, if I hadn't seen that big bull, my tag would have been filled opening morning. Because we saw this really nice bull and I passed on him and everybody's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, he's not anywhere near as big as that one we saw 2 nights ago. So it turned out to be more of a curse because I never could relocate that bull. And on the last day I ended up shooting when I'd passed the first afternoon. And then he'd broken a tine by the time I ended up shooting him. So, when hunting, do I carry a sidearm? No, I don't. Ideal caliber for black bear. Yeah, probably whatever you use for deer or elk. I've shot black bear with a 7mm 08, a 270, a 308, a 300 Win Mag. Yeah, I wouldn't get too worried about it. Check out those charts about where a bear's anatomy is, and just know that it's tucked up a little tighter and a little lower. And any quality bullet will do it for a black bear. Let's see. So when are you and Corey going to announce what hunts you guys are doing together this year? I don't know when we're going to talk about that. And when is the next Elk Talk podcast going to drop? I don't know. I think one just dropped this week. Yeah, the Arizona podcast dropped this week. What is the best state to live in for resident elk hunting? People would probably say it's a toss-up between Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana. Having hunted elk in all those states, I'm giving the nod to Wyoming. If I didn't live in Bozeman, Montana, and I could convince my wife to move, I would be living in Wyoming. They treat their residents better than any state I can think of. Just my own personal opinion based on 30-some years of experience hunting in the West. So, let's see. For a smaller elk caliber, which is better, AccuBond or Partition? Whatever that rifle shoots better. They're both really good. So, I wouldn't bother with either of them. So, will I ever hunt grizzly bear? Probably not, for 2 reasons. One, I don't know that we'll ever be able to hunt them in the lower 48. And I was lucky in 2006. My grandfather lived in Alaska, and I was able to go there and hunt with him for 10 days and hunt grizzly bear. So, once, taking one bear is, it's enough for me. And I get it if people want to go do a whole bunch of them, that's fine. But just for me personally, I'm happy and satisfied with the one, and I'll tell you, since my grandfather is gone, he passed away 3 years later, there's no bear hunt I could ever go on that would equate to 10 days with my grandpa in Alaska. And since he was a resident up there, he could be my guide. I didn't have to hire an outfitter. Saved me a ton of money and created some of the most unbelievable memories I could ever think of. So, let's see. Randy, where can I get a green plaid shirt like that? This is a Sitka green plaid shirt. I don't even know what one it is, to be honest with you. But that's where you'd get it, Sitka gear, or a Sitka retailer. Does Uncle Larry still hunt? Oh yeah, he was down there quail hunting with us last month. He's 70, whatever. How old is Larry? He's going to be 75 this year. And he still has so much fun. Oh my goodness. Is Arizona a quality pronghorn state compared to others? If you're talking about size of pronghorn, it's the best state. Some would argue maybe New Mexico. As far as numbers, unfortunately, Arizona's pronghorn numbers are... I look at how many pronghorn tags Arizona issues now compared to when I started applying in Arizona 23 or 4 years ago. They are issuing a lot less pronghorn tags. So pronghorn aren't doing that well in Arizona. But if you do draw a tag, there's some let's see. No, I'm not going to answer that. Would you guys quit asking some of these questions that are going to get me in trouble with my wife or with these employees? Do I resell any of my older rifles, i.e. a Howa 308? No, I don't. I'm not allowed to. All my rifles are on loan from Howa. So I just, I can't sell them. Sorry about that. Do I have any experience with the 270 Winchester short mag? Yep, I did. I had one. I loved it. Of all the short mag cartridges, I would say the 270 short mag is the best ballistic upgrade compared to just the standard 270. The 300 short mag, the 7mm short mag, don't have nearly the incremental increase over its regular peer. So, great cartridge. Do you and Bo have any hunts planned this year? You know, we were just talking this evening about what the plan is. We got a lot of plans. So whether or not they'll come together, a lot of it depends on tag draws. I think that Bo and Marcus are going to apply for a bunch of tags also. So I'm hoping that they'll let me tag along. Have you ever hunted Unit 9 in Arizona? Yep, I have. Really a tough late hunt. Really a tough late hunt. But if you get the early hunt or the archery hunt, it can be really, really good. I still hear Uncle Larry swearing in my head. I apologize for that. But it's just how they are. If you ever watched the movie Grumpy Old Men, right? Burgess Meredith was the old grandfather in that. You know, we give those guys a little latitude that they can maybe let it rip and no one's going to hold it against them. Hygiene tips and backcountry hunting. Bring some wipes, bring a bar of soap and a washcloth, and take yourself a little sponge bath whenever you need to. And if you can, this is what I do when I know it's going to be really bad. I wear merino. Merino handles smell way better than synthetic. So there's things you can do. Bring fresh underwear, okay? Don't be back in the backwoods for 12 days with the same underwear. And I know as quick as I say that, somebody's going to say, well, I don't wear underwear. Well, I do. So, but now I got these guys laughing. I don't know why everything I say makes you guys laugh so hard. But let's see. Which unit do you prefer for hunting mule deer in Nevada? Whatever unit I can get a tag for. And that's what I do. My fifth choice in Nevada, because Nevada gives you 5 choices, my fifth choice is always the easiest to draw unit based on last year's odds. And I'm always archery, 5th choice. And about every other year or every 3rd year I draw it. Sometimes I've drawn a couple of years in a row. So I wouldn't worry about that. I would just go in a unit where I wanted to go for other things, for, you know, the landscape intrigues me or whatever, just go. Have I ever hunted the Flat Tops Wilderness in Colorado? I have not. Have I ever got sick from altitude poisoning or altitude sickness? No, I haven't. Not that I know of anyhow. I've had my liver, as some of you know, I have a really rare liver condition. I've had that wipe me out on some hunts, but I don't think it had anything to do with the altitude sickness. What else we got? What's my best backcountry memory while hunting? Boy, I got so many to say my best. Man, I don't know what that would be. I will tell you that this last year with Bo and Lorenzo back in the high country of Wyoming, maybe it's just because it's recent and it's in my mind, that sure was high on the list. You know, going to British Columbia and hunting the Cassiar Mountains for mountain caribou and moose like I did a few years ago, that's a hard one to ever beat. So I don't know. I don't think I could put a best or favorite on it. Oh, let's see. Where do I use my promo code Randy to get good undies? GoHunt.com. I know you're laughing, right? But Chris Porter at GoHunt.com is a serious connoisseur of fine backcountry underwear. I think they only carry one brand because he said there's only one brand worth carrying. So go there and use promo code Randy and save 10% when you put it in your cart at checkout. Did alcohol have anything to do with your liver problems? I don't think so. They tell me it didn't. But if you saw my behavior in college, you might say, oh no, Randy, it probably did. For a Wyoming elk hunt, would you prefer early to mid-October or later in November? It depends on where I come from and how well I handle the cold. I grew up on the Canadian border in northern Minnesota. I live in Montana, so cold doesn't bother me. So there's a good chance I might pick late November. But if you can do some of those hunts, a lot of the Wyoming rifle hunts open October 1st. The elk are still bugling. They're still running around looking for cows. Pretty hard to beat that opportunity. So, let's see. Randy, I always hear great things about the Arizona Strip. Have you ever hunted that area? Yep, I have. I drew an Arizona Strip mule deer tag in 2007. And there's a little bit of a funny story to this, and it kind of gets back to the Arizona draw system. You can get 2 extra points in Arizona for these other 2 activities. One, you can take a non-resident hunter education class. You got to go to Arizona and take it. They'll give you a permanent bonus point for that. And I did that the year I drew the Arizona Strip. I went from being 1 point behind the maximum to being in the maximum pool. Boom, Arizona Strip mule deer tag. The other way you can get a permanent, or not a permanent point, but an extra point is a loyalty point. For any species, once you've applied 5 years in a row, they give you a loyalty point. So you do it for 4 years, you'd say, well, I was unsuccessful my 5th year, now I got 5 points. No, if you've done it 5 years in a row, they give you a second point. So you jump from 4 points to 6 points. How cool is that, huh? Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah. A lot of people asking questions about stuff that isn't elk. I'm trying to stick to elk. What the funniest thing that has happened to one of your camera guys while out hunting? Boy, let me think about that one for next week. I'm sure there's some good ones. I don't know exactly what they would be, but that would take a little bit of thinking. Let's see, Randy, what one thing, would you avoid doing as a do-it-yourself hunter today? I wouldn't focus on glory tags. I wouldn't focus on having the finest and greatest and latest gear. I would focus on just going. Go and build your library of knowledge. The most valuable hunts I ever did were the ones that I failed on. Because that is where I learned, oh, that was a mistake. Oh, I should have done that. Oh, elk do this in response to that. And if I was just worried about, oh, I only want to draw a tag that takes 20 points, or I'm not going to go until I can afford a, $5,000 pair of binoculars or a, super long range rifle, I would have never went. And I wouldn't have gained all that knowledge. So don't let those kind of things get in the way of going hunting. That's why I say this shop story that Jonathan has come up with about the gear I hunted with when I first started hunting. The reason it really is appealing to me is because it explains that even though I was a starved out recent college graduate, I had a kid at home, young baby, the vehicle payment when you just get out of college, I didn't have 2 pennies. I worked on the side selling firewood, trapping, whatever I could do to make more money. But I still went hunting. In those years of hunting, even with really bad gear, I learned a ton. And that's why I think there's some value in a shop story where you get to all chuckle and laugh at my old pictures. Before I had LASIK surgery and I wore big glasses. And, so, is 14% public land in a unit too little, too small of a percentage? Yes, in my mind it is. I would not hunt a unit with only 14%. But maybe if you got access or some way to figure it out, could work. Any chances to win a hunt with you for 2021? Yep, we do it every fall with the Elk Foundation. Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation and us do it this year. A guy from Georgia won, and we're hopefully going to be going to Wyoming because he's got 11 Wyoming points. Yeah, he's like, can I burn my points for this? I'm like, sure. So every year we do one, and we take somebody with us. If you go out to our YouTube channel, you'll see last year we took Ty. He was a winner from Oregon. Super great guy. Ty, I know you're not watching. You're too busy. You got young kids and you're working. But thanks for being such a great guest on that hunt. It was a ton of fun. So that's how you can do it. So with that, I'm trying to think. You got any really good last minute, like last one or two questions, Jonathan, that just, we got to get to this? But in the interim, while Jonathan is looking up the last like juicy ones, he's been saving them for the bitter end. I want to remind you all that this is brought to you by GoHunt.com. Sign up for the Insider, use promo code Randy, get a $50 gift card. And anyone who's used our promo code and is still an active member under that promo code is in the drawing next week for the Leupold Rifle Scope. Thanks, Leupold. And they help make this possible, along with Bowtech. Go to bowtecharchery.com, Gerber Gear, go there, gerbergear.com. Use promo code Randy, save 20%. Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. When they're coming out, so, well, I better not say that. Do you know if they have those special ones on their website yet? The ones that you wouldn't dare hit yourself on the head with?
They didn't last week.
They didn't? Okay. That's top secret. Good thing I didn't rat that out. I'd have been getting a phone call tomorrow morning. But go to Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls and get 15% off when you use promo code Randy, or your Kenetrek boots. Get a $75 pair of gaiters. Mystery Ranch backpack, save 10% when you check out at GoHunt.com. And the same with Black Gold archery sights, tight spot quivers, and ripcord arrow rests. You can get those at GoHunt.com. They'll give you 10% off with promo code Randy. I don't know, do we have on our swag, our gear, our shirts, our merch at shop.randynewberg.com? We got any? I know if you use promo code Randy out there, RJ gives you all kinds of discounts. He'll probably send you some of the stuff Michael is hawking out on Craigslist if you use promo code Randy out there when you're buying our merchandise. Elkhorn Coffee Roasters, 15% off orders over 30%. And our buddy Corey Jacobson at the University of Elk Hunting. Go sign up for his course. It's amazing. You're going to learn a ton. Whether you're just getting into it, and even if you've been at it a long time, I bet you in some of those 100 and something videos, you're going to learn something. And when you use promo code Randy, he'll give you 20 bucks off when you sign up. All right. Let's see here. What happened to Kyler? Yeah, what happened to Kyler? Should we tell him what happened to Kyler? Kyler joined the Army. Great job, Kyler. So he's heading off to basic training Tuesday. So we wish him well. And he's welcome back here anytime he wants to come back. Let's see. Did you put some on the list here, Jonathan? Did you get like the really great one for waiting forever? Oh, here we go. All right. This is a very good one. Hope I'm not going too deep on this question. John asked this. Do you ever feel a bit guilty spending all these days hunting with Marcus and Michael and making great memories instead of doing that with Matthew? I understand that he's got a career. I ask this because I'm doing a ton of hunting with friend and mentors older than me and not doing enough hunting with my father. You know, it's tough that Matthew is really busy with his career. It is. I mean, 2020, we were going to hunt together in Oregon, and then along comes COVID and all the stuff, all the complications. We ended up canceling that hunt. 2019, Matthew was bedridden with some strange ailment they could never diagnose. He was bedridden for 6 months. He didn't get to hunt in 2019. So the last 2 years, we've had to cancel. But he and I have said, you know what? We're going this year. And you guys have heard me say it many times. My most favorite days are the days with Matthew. And I'm sure any of you, like John talking about hunting with his dad, or you hunting with your kids, there is nothing that even comes close to that. I mean, I have great friends and great hunts and great memories with them, but when I think about the times that I get to hunt with Matthew, they're on the calendar, and it occupies most of my free time thinking about those hunts. So I don't feel guilty about it. I just accept it that right now he's at a phase and a point in his life where, you know, we all go through it, right? Where you're trying to build your career and you don't have unlimited time off like I do. I just quit. You know, people say, gee, Randy, it must be nice to retire from the accounting profession at your age. Retire implies I had enough money. I just said, screw it, I quit. I'm going hunting. You know, hunt more, work less. You know, I don't know how else to say it. We've all heard the saying, right? No one's ever been on their deathbed and said, I wish I would have hunted less. Not me. If anyone comes to my funeral, which I doubt anyone will, but if they do, I hope they're all jealous and say, boy, I wish I would have hunted as much as he did. Because if that's what happens, it's been a victory. But if I die down at that CPA firm, it doesn't matter what I've accomplished in my life, it's a failure. So, let's see. What's the last one, Jonathan? Come on, you got to have one really good one right now. But please retell the chili story. No, I'm not retelling the chili story. All right. Did you copy one over there? No? All right, folks. I might just make one up. You got one, Paul? You got a question you want me to answer? No.
I watched all your videos, Randy.
Oh, Paul works here. He's like, I watch all your videos. I don't have any questions.
Highlighted in blue.
Oh, the one highlighted in blue, huh? Oh, I can't see it. Oh, I like this one. This is a good rebuttal to what was the other question. Tell Matthew work will be there when he gets back. Hunt now and worry about work later. For what it's worth, I'm 29, but being single helps. Well, you guys are close to the same age. So there you go, Matthew. You got a piece of advice from Matthew M. I know that I appreciate you saying that, and I know everybody's got their obligations in life. But for me, I do appreciate it because I know Matthew. You know, he and Lillian are strapped for their time, and anytime he allocates to me is probably some time away from Lillian, and I appreciate that both of them are willing to come and do it when they do. But yeah, those are great days, great times, and I look forward to it because Matthew has a pot full of elk points. And we did an app. He and I party apped in Arizona. He doesn't have a ton of points in Arizona, but we did a party app. I've got 5. I think he's got 7 or 8. But he's got way up points in Nevada and Utah for elk. So hopefully he draws one of those, and I'll just tag along. And so anyhow, folks, I wonder if that'll do it we've kept them on the line for an hour and 20 minutes. Whew. You people, I don't know. Maybe they realize that all the ammo is gone out on the shelves, and they're waiting for Michael to get on here and start hawking some of my Nosler partitions or Accubons. I'm going to have to start doing an ammo inventory with you guys. We're building a new office building, And we're going to have an ammo vault in there, and I'm going to be the only one who has the key. I'm the only one who's going to be able to get into that ammo vault because I don't trust these guys. You know, they got to make a rent payment or something, or they need new tires for their truck. All of a sudden out on, you know, buyit.com or something, oh yeah, I got a whole bunch of Nosler ammo. So if you find where a bunch of Nosler ammo is being sold on Gunbroker or something else, let me know. Pretty good chance it's coming out of Bozeman, Montana, out of my stash. So, but anyhow, folks, appreciate you being here. Hope you're all doing well. Apply for Arizona. February 9th is your deadline. What was that, Jonathan? Oh, Jonathan was over here doing this stuff. I thought maybe he's like, no. But we really appreciate all of you being here. We hope that you stay healthy. We hope you go hunting. And when you wake up tomorrow, decide that it's going to be a good day. Because I've found when I wake up in the morning, if I say it's going to be a good day, it's a good day. And if I say, oh, today's going to be a bad day, guess what? I'm probably right about that too. So it's all perspective. Smile, be happy, make somebody else happy, and go hunting. Thanks for being here.